One amendment that voters will decide on could impact how flooding problems are dealt with here in Texas. Proposition 8 would transfer millions of dollars from the state's rainy day fund to help cities and towns address flooding. Patty Santos tells us San Antonio agencies are already gearing up to apply for a piece of that pie should this proposition pass.
Proposition 8 sets out to help Texans prevent disastrous floods like this in Houston in the future.
2 years ago, Hurricane Harvey really was the impetus to get our state to think differently.
Steve Graham is the San Antonio River Authority Assistant General Manager. He says the passage of Prop 8 would mean about $800 million would flow from the Rainy Day Fund to a specific flood infrastructure fund.
It now is a game changer, a huge amount of money out of the Rainy Day Fund dedicated to protecting our citizens against flooding.
If the proposition is approved, the Texas Water Development Board will decide how local governments get the loans or grants, which could determine how long the money lasts.
So it'll be a competitive environment, and it isn't a whole lot of money.
The money would help towns or agencies fund drainage, flood mitigation, or flood control projects. Arguments against Proposition 8 include if the money is delivered as a loan, what happens if the city can't pay it back? Others question how the flood infrastructure fund would be replenished. There are also arguments that there are already state and federal funds available for the same purpose.
Right now in Texas, if you don't have local funds, it's hard to make the matches that FEMA or the Corps of Engineers requires. It really favors big cities that have a large tax base.
Yeah, the state hasn't done it before, so why in the world are you doing it now? Because it needs to get done. I mean, that's the real answer.
Areas within Bexar County experience flooding firsthand. The Bexar Regional Watershed Management has been working on a master plan to control flooding, and it could benefit from the passage of Proposition 8.
If this funding becomes available, we'll be immediately ready to say, here are the projects that are important to our community.
And Myra, last week, the San Antonio River Authority Board of Directors passed a resolution to support the intent of Proposition 8. Early voting continues until November 1st. Election day is November 5th. Again, there are 10 propositions. You can find out more about them and what else is on the ballot on ksat.com/politics.